Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 150 of Cameron Sports Podcast. It's your host, Cameron Lindsay. Back in a brand new episode. Today's episode, I'm going to be talking about my Los Angeles Chargers. They made the play. Like I said again, of course, they made the playoffs. In the wild card round, we'll be facing the New England Patriots in the wild card round on the road. And yeah, like I said, I want to talk about that game, give my thoughts, and of course, give my predictions. But before I get into that game, I want to get into a game we had a couple weeks ago at home against the Houston Texans. And that was a big game for us. And if we would have won that game, we would have had a chance to fight for the AFC West the following week against Denver. But we didn't get that chance because we ended up losing to the Texans. We fell to 11-5 after the 20-6 loss on a Saturday at home against Houston. And I wrote down and said, who's at fault from that game? I will have some key points. First, the O-line, giving up 5-6 sacks. Now, granted, going into that game, I think I said in the previous episode, I already was nervous because Houston Texans got the best pass rushing duo in the NFL today, with Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson both having at least 12 sacks at bare minimum. And them come off the edge is scary, and it's also scary because we have backup tackles on our offensive line. Both our starting tackles are out for the year. Rashawn Slater, during training camp, he got hurt, so he didn't even start the season. He was out before the season even started. Joe Alt got hurt in the middle of the season. So yeah, I was already scared because of that, because I'm like, oh snap. Because I know Herbert going to be running for his life, especially with that pass rushing duo. But yeah, O-line giving up 5-6 sacks, like, come on, man. It just makes me so mad because Herbert deserves so much better. He's a top 10 quarterback. If we give him some time to throw the ball, he will not let us down. But he can't do that if you give him no protection. He's running for his life literally every play. The game had just started and already giving up sacks. I'm just like, man. But mainly, the next people that I give up fault is the officials. Now, granted, even with giving up 5-6 sacks, even though that we gave up 2 big plays in the first 2 minutes of the game, and Houston went up 14-0, our defense kept us in that game. I'm not gonna lie, they kept us in that game. But a key thing that happened in the game, a pass interference call happened with 2 minutes and 27 seconds left in that game. After a big sack on third down, we sacked C.J. Stroud. I'm like, okay, we got a chance. We got a chance, to get the ball back and hopefully go down and, by the grace of God, score a touchdown to win the game. That didn't happen. A pass interference call, the receiver ran into our DB. The DB was not at fault at all. The DB didn't give the receiver... It's not like the DB didn't give the receiver room to run the route. No, it was good coverage. But refs threw a flag, and that was a horrible... one of the worst calls I ever seen. Next person, our kicker, Cameron Dicker. Now, granted, Cameron Dicker's not a bad kicker, but, like, come on, man. You cannot be missing. You missed a extra point before halftime. You missed a field goal before halftime when we was trailing 14-3. You missed an extra point after we scored a key touchdown in the fourth quarter with 3 minutes and 37 seconds left. I'm like, we only gonna be down 3. All we're gonna need is a field goal. He missed it. I was so mad. Even my girlfriend who was laying down in the bed while watching the game, seeing how frustrated I was because our Chargers. That made me so mad because I'm like, this is like 2010, 11 all over again when we find different ways to lose and miss extra points, special teams. I'm like, come on. That made me mad. But losing this game cost us the AFC West championship against Denver. Denver ended up clinching the AFC West because we lost. Now, granted, in my opinion, I know it's biased a little bit, but I feel like if you're 5-0 in a division, and you beat every one of your division. Granted, you got losses to eight other teams, but I feel like you should still have a chance to win the division. Because I feel like Denver, even though we lost to Denver last week, those are our backups. Those wasn't our starters. Denver has just to beat us with our starters. I don't know when the last time Denver beat us with our starters since Herbert been our quarterback. It's been a while. So, to be honest, I feel like we're the real AFC West champions, but it's okay. It's okay. They can have it. Next year, I have high expectations. I think if we keep both our tackles healthy, keep Herbert protected, I think we have a great shot to win AFC West next year. But we're on to the playoffs. That's what matters most. So Denver can have the number 1 seed, the AFC West. Cool. But that's just what I wanted to talk about, that game against Houston. That's it. But now, like I said, on to the New England Patriots. So my Los Angeles Chargers finished the season 11-6, second in the AFC West. We sat our starters against Denver, Derwin James, Amari Hampton, Justin Herbert, players like that. Because we don't need, it's not worth it because it's nothing we could do. We're the 6th seed. So really 6, 7, I get it. Yeah, 6, 7. I can't believe I just did that. The 6th or 7th seed. So, and to be honest, based off what happened in the regular season, I don't want to play Houston and I don't want to play Jacksonville after that game we played them early in the season and lost 35-6. I don't want to play them in the first round. And I don't want to play Houston after that game a couple weeks ago. Especially the way our offensive line looks, been terrible over the whole season. So it's not worth it. I think Jim Harbaugh did a great job, a good call, setting our starters because a certain coach we had a couple years ago, not going to name no names, Brandon Staley, played our starters in the last game of the season at Denver before the playoffs started. And guess what happened? One of our key receivers, Mike Williams, shout out to Mike Williams, who retired before the season started. Kudos to him. Always will be forever a great Charger. He gets hurt, and that ended up costing us a game against Jacksonville. Granted, we was up 27-0, but I think if he was healthy, I feel like that would have been a good key. That would have made a difference, I think, in my opinion, because that's our number 2 receiver who gets great on 50-50 balls. That's another weapon for Justin Herbert. And now, granted, that's a loss on Justin Herbert's resume because he's 0-2 in the playoffs. Now, that game against Houston last year, the wild card, I can't defend that. That's on Justin. 4 interceptions. Granted, the team was young, but that's on him. But that loss against Jacksonville, I don't put that on Herbert really at all. I think that's all on the coaching staff. Few years ago, mainly Brandon Staley going for it on 4th down when he was coach, every time. It was cool against Kansas City that one year. I remember my best friend Marcus, he was getting married, and before the wedding started, I was watching the game on my phone. And I'm like, we doing good. We actually hanging with Kansas City. We could beat them. And we going for it on 4th down. I'm like, okay. Now, I'm thinking a game like that is big. You want to make a statement. You want to try to compete. If you want to win the AFC West, you got to beat Kansas City. You have to beat them. Probably, you're going to have to beat them at Kansas City to win the division. You're going to have to beat them. And he did that, but he let that go to his head and thinking every game, okay, I'm going to go for it. And then when we don't get it, that cost us. I remember one year playing the Raiders, it was the last game of the season for a spot to get into the playoffs. We lost that game because this fool decided to keep going for it when we didn't need to. It's okay to punt the ball. Dog. Whew. But it's cool. Like I said, this year, we're in the playoffs. This is the second year under Harbaugh. A way better coach than Brandon Staley. Everywhere Harbaugh goes, he wins. He gets better with each team he's had. Last year, they exceeded my expectations. I thought last year we was gonna win 7-8 games because we was terrible the year before. Harbaugh's first year, so I'm like, we'll probably win 7-8 games, be competitive, but not make the playoffs. We went 11-6. That exceeded my expectations. Again, we go 11-6. Cool. And I ain't gonna lie, part of me thought we was gonna make the playoffs, but after what I've seen, I think this team is a legit playoff contender. Regardless of people would like Nick Wright say or any other podcast, I know my team. I've been covering my team the whole season. I'm not just some casual Chargers fan. Been a Chargers fan my whole life. So, yeah. But I want to talk about this game against the New England Patriots. Starting off with our strengths going into this game. One, I think, is our pass rush with Khalil Mack, Tui Talopu, Odafe Owe, Bud Dupree. That pass rush with those linebackers, defensive ends, I think are really strong. Like I said, Tui Talopu, one of our lead leader in sacks on our team, one of the league leaders in the NFL with 13 sacks. He's had a phenomenal season, Tui Talopu. And like I said, he's our best pass rusher. Khalil Mack, he's older, but he's still Khalil Mack. He can still give you good production. Bud Dupree, good production. Odafe Owe, I think that was a great trade we made during the season. It's like he had no sacks when he was in Baltimore. As soon as he got on our team, we traded for him. This man was getting sacks left and right almost. Literally, like, I think the first 4 straight games he had a sack when he first got on our team. And I think now he has like about 7, 8 sacks, I think. Maybe a little bit more, but 7, 8 sacks on our team. But yeah, when he first got on our team, he was sacked every game. I'm like, wow, that was a great trade from Baltimore. I'm glad they did it. Great move right there. Another strength, of course, is our quarterback, Justin Herbert. Because he's been carrying us on his back with a horrible offensive line that is really bad, a mediocre run game. Now, granted, Amari Hinton been hurt. Kamani Vidal, he been playing well, but really overall has not been that really consistent yet. The O-line been like literally horrible. I don't know a worse O-line in football than ours. And like I seen other podcasts, and I'm thinking like, to be honest, if Justin Herbert was not on our team, I think arguably we would have a top 3 pick in this year's NFL draft. No joke. If Herbert, that's why I feel like Herbert deserves way more respect. I'm tired of the disrespect. He's a top 10 quarterback. I don't think no other quarterback, not Mahomes, not Burrow, Lamar, if they had this offensive line, I don't think they would lead this Chargers team to 11 wins. I'm sorry. They just don't. Not with this offensive line. But Herbert has done that. And he got a fractured hand. He's doing it with a fractured hand. And he's still playing. I don't know when the last time I seen Herbert really miss a game like that. It's been a while. Because even when he's hurt, he still plays his non-throwing. Now, granted, his non-throwing hand, but he's still going out there getting hit, getting banged. Because he's 6'6", he's 240. So he's a big target, getting hit, getting his hand hit, and still staying in the game and playing. It's like, come on now. And lastly, our safety, Derwin James, one of our captains on our defense, arguably, in my opinion, the best safety in the league. Like I say, he's a Swiss Army knife. He can play all over the field. Safety, slot, DN, linebacker. Derwin James is a generational talent at safety. Can use him almost everywhere on our defense. I think he's definitely a strength on our team. Now, weaknesses going to this game, I just said it. Our offensive line is really bad. Now, granted, the Patriots' pass rush is not that strong at all. And, of course, the competition they've been going against, I'm not going too much talk about that because you play who's in front of you, regardless if the teams are bad. Really, every year in NFL, even if one team is bad one year, you don't know how they're going to be the next year. The next year, they may be better. It's like, okay, cool, you play the Cleveland Browns this year, and then next year they may win 10 games. For example, the Jaguars won 4 games last year. Now with Lee and Cole, they're the number 3 seed, and they just won 12, 13 games. So it could happen. Teams could be really bad one year and turn around and be really good the next. So, but I think our O-line is really bad. Well, I don't think. I know it's really bad. For a fact, with my own eyes, like I just said before I talk about this game, we gave up 5-6 sacks against the Texans. 5-6 sacks. So I know this line is really bad. And my dad, we were talking in the kitchen the other day. He was like, hey, you got, regardless of who gets hurt, next man up. And I told him, I get that, but our backups are backups for a reason. Granted, every player in the NFL who's on the team that's not a starter, they were good enough to make the NFL, that doesn't mean they're good enough to start. Some players are literally a backup for a reason. If they was borderline starter good, like flat out starter good, Pro Bowl, they would go be on another team right now starting. They are so bad, it's ridiculous. Like, I think each one of them should look each other in the mirror like, we should be blessed to block this quarterback, Justin Herbert. Like, we cannot let him get banged up every game like this. Like, it's ridiculous. But on to our keys to victory. Again, we gotta get pressure on Drake May with Tua Tagovailoa, Khalil Mack, Bud Dupree, Adolphe Owe. Them players like that, we gotta get pressure on Drake May. Really, like I said, now our O-line is bad, but New England Patriots O-line is not that good either. Yeah, they're better than ours, but they ain't that good either. So I think we have a really good shot to get pressure on Drake May, throw him off his rhythm a bit. Because like I said, we got pressure on C.J. Stroud. We was in that game. We was able to get pressure on him, pick him off. So I think we could do the same thing with Drake May, get pressure on him, and that will give us a real good shot. Another key to victory, protect Herbert. Give him time to throw the ball. If we could play the same way, I guarantee you right this. If we play the same way we did against Dallas Cowboys, we're going to win this game. Going back and watching the game against Dallas, we did not give up one sack. If that happens, will we give up little to no sacks? We win in that game. Because there's no way you give Herbert time to throw the ball and we don't win. At all. Especially against a defense like the Patriots that's not really technically all that elite. Outside of Christian Gonzalez, is the only defensive player on that Patriots team that I really respect. And that's a really good player. Hey, you know. And lastly, get the run game going with Hampton and Vidal. Our rookie running back, he didn't play last week against Denver, so he was able to rest up. So get him going, get Kamani Vidal going, get them two going, running the ball, take pressure off of Herbert, get some play action going to Keenan Allen, Ladd McConkey, Quentin Johnston down the field. So if we could do that, that would really, really help us. You know, because in the playoffs, you got to be able to run the football. You are not going to win a playoff game. You're not going to make a run if you cannot run the football at all. It's just that. Like, we got to get the running game going with Hampton and Kamani Vidal. But, yes, the game is Sunday, 8 o'clock. I'm going to be watching at least the first half of it because I have to work that night. But either way, I'm going to be watching it, paying close attention, watching highlights. Saying very, very close attention to this game because my Chargers play, you know, I might be a journalist, but I'm also a diehard fan as well. I feel like to be a journalist, you also got to be a fan of the game, especially any sports that you watch. You got to be a fan of it, not just also a journalist. But as far as my prediction, I thought about it. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'd be lying if I didn't. I thought about picking the Patriots. Because I'm nervous. Mainly because of our offensive line. Not because of Herbert, because of our offensive line. And then guess what people going to say? They're going to blame Herbert. Oh, Herbert choked again. This and this and this. Oh, he can't win the game. He not elite. He not better than Bo Nix. He not like, come on now. I guarantee you, Bo Nix was behind his offensive line. Jalen Hurts, Lamar, they would not get 11 wins. At all. They're not. Herbert is literally carrying his team on his back. Drake made that. They literally carrying his team on his back. Like, come on now. But going thing, I really think we have. If I'm a Patriots fan, I would think we have a legit shot. Like, we're playing the Chargers. They have a horrible offensive line. I would think we got a good shot too. But this is why I feel like this is a better matchup for us rather than playing the Houston Texans or the Jacksonville Jaguars in the first round. And like I said, the Patriots don't really have too much playoff experiences. Mike Vrabel's first year as a Patriots coach, you know, he's a former head coach of the Tennessee Titans a couple years ago. And this is his first year in New England. This is Drake May's second year as in NFL. So, you know, I mean, he got a few veterans like Hunter Henry, Stephon Diggs. And, you know, really, as far as the Patriots offense, you know, of course I respect Drake May because he's an MVP candidate. he could possibly win MVP. My vote would go to Matthew Stafford personally, but I think Drake May got a legit shot. Now, as far as the weapons, I don't really fear nobody. Like, so I do respect Stephon Diggs. He may not be the same as he was, but he still got 1,000 yards. He's still Stephon Diggs. He's still a valuable asset, a valuable, really good receiver that you got to respect. Outside of that, nobody I fear at all. Now, as home run hitter, like I said, our defense doesn't really give up home run plays, even though they did against Houston a couple weeks ago, like within the first 10 minutes of the game. And I'm like, come on, like what? The game just started. But other than that, we really don't give up long plays. And I don't see no deep threat on that Patriots team. Now, they do got a home run hitter. It's just a running back they had, Travion Henderson. I just hope that we contain the run. Don't let Henderson break off for a 50-yarder, 60-yarder, because he can't do that. He has 4.4 legit speed. And I've seen him multiple times this season take it to the house like that. Like, he may not, it's like, okay, he only picks up 1 yard, 2 yard, 3 yards. And then next you know, he takes a 60-yarder to the house. Whether it's running a football, a punt return, kick return, he can take to the house like that. And I think we need to be careful. But you know what? I'm picking my Chargers. I really do think we got a legit shot. I'm going to say my Chargers win this game 24-20. I think it'll be a close one. I think this will be Herbert's first playoff victory. I'm praying because he deserves it. I'm tired of the Justin Herbert slander. It's ridiculous. Like, I just feel like others outside don't really understand, like, oh, I don't believe in the Chargers. Like Nick Wright on First Thing for I don't believe in the Chargers. I don't believe in Herbert. That's fine. You can believe in the Chiefs. We don't need you to believe in us. But I will say one thing that I like that happened in the Texas game that we lost. All the Chargers fans were packed the stadium. Usually it's not that many Chargers fans in the stadium, but that game, it was so many of them. All the fans. I wish I was there. Like, oh, I wish I was there. But I appreciate all the other Chargers fans out there supporting the team out there. Even though we lost, like, it was packed and it was hype and it had that stadium rocking. I was watching the game and I could hear them. They had that stadium rocking. But I think we're going to win this game 24-20. I really think we can win it. The O-line just keep Herbert. Give him time to throw the football. Please. If I get one thing for Christmas, please protect Herbert. Please. But yeah, that's my score prediction for that. Now, lastly, before I conclude this episode, I want to get to the other wild card games, starting with the Rams and Panthers. It'll be Saturday, 4:30 p.m. The Panthers beat the Rams 38-28, Week 13. They picked off Stafford a couple times, had multiple turnovers, caused turnovers, fumbles from Stafford, and they won the turnover battle. They upset the Rams. They were 10-point underdogs then. They're 10-point underdogs now. Now, even though they upset the Rams then, I just think the playoffs are different. I think the Rams got the better team, the better quarterback, the better running back, the better receivers, Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua. I just don't think the Rams are going to make the same mistake they did against the Panthers then. I think the Rams are going to win it 34-20. I think the Panthers may put up a little fight, but I just think the Rams are going to be too much for them. I got the Rams 34-20. Next up, also on Saturday, you got the Packers 9-7-1 taking on the Bears, who finished 11-6. Both teams split. Packers 1-1, Bears 1-1. This one was real close, but I think because if the Packers had Micah Parsons, I would lean Packers, but I just think the Bears are going to slightly get the Packers. I just think they, right now, a little bit more complete team than the Packers. I got the Bears with the win, 20-17 over the Packers. And I'm not that confident with it, but yeah. Now on to Sunday wildcard games. Bills at 12-5, finish the season. Jaguars 13-4. This game will be 1 o'clock Sunday. Now this game was the hardest one to pick because I believe in Josh Allen. I like Josh Allen. I feel like without his kryptonite in the playoffs, which is Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, this is his best shot to win the Super Bowl. This is a must-win for Josh Allen. This is a must-win postseason for him. Like, you got to get to the Super Bowl. But the bad side is this is not his best team. This is probably the worst Buffalo Bills teams he's had since he's been the starter, maybe since his rookie year. But then it's like the Jaguars. They've been hot all year. They surprised me. I did not see this coming. I would thought they wouldn't be that good. You know, Travis Hunter gets hurt, but they looking good. Brian Thomas Jr. not having the best season from his rookie year. He's having a sophomore slump, but he's still playing very well. That defense, both sides of the ball. Trevor Lawrence looking phenomenal, playing great football. And I'm just like, where do I go with this? And I hate to say it, but I got the Jaguars 26-23. I hope I'm wrong, because I feel like Josh Allen needs a chance to get to the Super Bowl, especially when you don't have to play the Chiefs. But I just feel like I just don't believe in their receivers or playmakers outside of James Cook, Dalton Kincaid, or so I got the Jaguars. Also Sunday, 4:30 p.m., 49ers Eagles. 49ers 12-5, Eagles 11-6. I'm going Eagles 20-16, even though I think the 49ers have a legit shot with the upset. I think the Eagles defense is very, very good. I'm just not really sure about that offense. Not saying I don't believe in Jalen Hurts, Saquon, and them. It's just that really all season, they've just been off. They really haven't been the Eagles like they were last year, and I just, I'm not that confident in it, but I think they'll squeeze it out, get the win, 20-16 over the 49ers. Last, we got the Texans 12-5 over the Steelers, 10-7. This game will be on Monday Night Football, 8:15. I got the Texans at least 27-10. I just think that pass rush is going to be too much for Aaron Rodgers. He's not the Aaron Rodgers is old. He can't really scramble like he used to. So I think the Houston probably going to they might have at least 4 or 5 sacks in this game. I think they're going to dominate. I just don't see how the Steelers win this game at all, especially with that Houston pass rush. But yeah, those are my predictions for the other wild card games. But like as far as like my Chargers facing the Patriots in this wild card game, I'm going with my Bolts, baby. I believe in my team. I just want one playoff victory. Even if we lose in a division round, that's fine, because really I don't see us making the Super Bowl, especially with the offensive line we have. I think this offensive line we have may be worse than the one Joe Burrow had that year. They made a run to the Super Bowl, and that offensive line was bad. They made the Super Bowl, and that offensive line was bad. I think ours is worse, really. And I'll be shocked if we made the AFC Championship game. Really shocked, or not. Well, maybe depends who we play. If we play Denver, I wouldn't necessarily be shocked if we beat them. But if we made it to the Super Bowl, yeah, I'd be shocked, man. But yeah. I got my Chargers 24-20. Like I said, Sunday night, 8 p.m. Going on the road, baby. But I definitely appreciate y'all tuning in for another episode of Cameron Sports Podcast. Make sure to follow me on all social media regarding Cameron Sports Podcast. Like I said, Facebook, Twitter X, Instagram, TikTok. And let's keep grinding until we hit 1,000 subscribers this year. You know, it's not going to be easy, but I feel like we can get close, at least 500. But yeah, I definitely appreciate y'all watching. Make sure to tune into some NFL football this weekend, wild card round. I know we got the college football playoffs also going on. Like check out my last episode 149, my predictions of the college football playoff. And yeah, like I said, we get to it. We got a lot of football going on, postseason, college, and NFL. But yeah, I definitely appreciate each one of y'all always tuning in. Y'all very important to me, very loyal. And yeah, just if you want to touch down with Cam, you know what to do. Click that subscribe button, post notifications, make sure they're on. And I'll catch y'all next time for another episode. This has been your favorite host, Cameron Lindsay, of your favorite sports podcast. I'm signing out. Take care.